Hey everybody, I'm here with Jan Lemieux from Canon Solutions America, and you are one of their color management team, correct?
Correct.
And color management is a very hot topic, right?
Yes, very.
Now, is it a hot topic because of the speeds of the machines, or is it a hot topic because of the comparison that everyone constantly wants to make to inkjet and or digital printing conversions of CMY colors? Why do you think it's a hot topic?
You know, the biggest key with color management, especially for inkjet, is that combination of the printer technology, the substrate, and the ink. It's what we call that inkjet triangle. With color management, we have to manage, or we have to put together that triangle in the right order. We can take a paper, put it on the press, we can apply ink to the paper, but it doesn't necessarily mean we'll get the color we're expecting. So the color management is that critical key to really balance out the color management, the customer's expectations, really gaining the full potential of what that paper can do. So color management is very important, and you know, in our conversations today, we talk about not just at the engine, but color management inside the workflow, inside the data. You know, data is a set of instructions, and it tells the engine what to do. If I give the instruction set wrong in the data, then I'm going to get the wrong output. But usually, most people look at color quality at the engine and usually forget about the data. So it's really bringing everything together as an ecosystem, the data, the paper, the ink, the technology, and then most importantly, the right profile to manage all of those elements.
Right, and that's a fantastic point, because I always forget that a press is just like a giant print file processor. It's you know, garbage in, garbage out, so to speak.
Yep.
Okay, so what have you learned? What have you learned? And then also, I want to try to understand a little more. I mean, are there make-readies on an inkjet press? I mean, how long does it take to get to your point?
Absolutely great question. So what have I learned? My background is commercial print. I spent 23 years in the offset, the high-end offset industry, doing high-end print. The biggest thing that I learned is the criticalness of ensuring that the print engine is in a repeatable state. Something that if I know the color of the engine, I can always address it in the data. So I want to make sure the engine's in a repeatable state. Color management, especially with profiles, that helps me. And I think that was the biggest learning difference, that coming from an offset background is the paper influence. Now you've added that paper component. Paper was always a fifth color in offset printing, but in inkjet printing, it really can define the level of quality that we get, whether it be vividness, saturation, you know, the graininess, that type of stuff. So the big key for most customers is understanding that balance, understanding how to get that balance together. And it can be a challenge at first, especially if you don't have a lot of color background with production. If your background is more black and white, for example, then it may take a little more time to get that education. And I kind of have this saying, there's three components to success: education, training, and experience. Well, the first two you can get: education and training. I can educate myself, I can go get education, I can be trained, or I can find training. Experience, though, that experience becomes that last factor that makes success. And that sometimes is on-job training.
Right. So does it boil down to the pressman or the pre-press person? And it could be a press woman too, so my apologies for the girls who print person out there. Yes.
So does color exist in pre-press? Does color exist on press? The reality is color exists everywhere.
Okay.
Everybody has a responsibility to make sure that
including
their
the designers to begin with, right?
It starts upstream. Am I even designing something that's appropriate for the technology? That's the big key.
Great point.
Absolutely. I mean, that is the big key. Is I want to make sure the output, the design I'm creating, actually will achieve the expected output. So does color reside in the press person, or does color reside over with the pre-press person? The reality is they both have an equal stake.
Right.
And making sure that they both are on the same page with the right education and communicate back and forth, that's key.
Well, I really appreciate your time, and I'm looking forward to your session this afternoon. Thanks so much, Jan.
Thank you.